have decided by 2030 to 2050. 2030, you have to reduce your carbon emission footprint by 20%, and likewise 2040, and then 2050, you need to have a net zero of carbon emission. So throughout the world, a lot of work is being conducted with regard to the change of machinery. New dual or hybrid engines are coming. The shipyards are working onto it. The industry is collaborating with the shipyards to produce. The academic setups are working also to produce a hybrid engine. Some of the engines are already under trial, and so that it provides you an alternate to the fossil fuel. So while you have a hybrid engine, it is the main thing is to address or target your carbon emission, which has to be reduced. So while you throughout, it is of course, it is throughout your maritime operations. This requires obviously innovations. So you need to have a cutting edge technology to modernize vessel management and logistics. Likewise, once you have new engines, you would like to have a crew also trained well to man those ships, move around, and then of course you need to have a ports which have to be declared green ports to support hybrid engine ships for disembarking or embarking cargo. This is going to give you, for the Saudis, the economic growth. Is going to strengthen Saudi Arab's position in global market throughout optimized trade and logistics solutions. If you are in step with time, you would be leading rather than you being the follower. So it has to be you, the Saudi Arab has to be a leader in this region, not only in this region, but as a test case, example case throughout the world for its economic growth based on the cutting edge and sustainable machinery, factories, ships, and port management. While you were doing that, of course, it hits at the modernization for your infrastructure. Your ports have to be transformed. Your ports on the eastern, the Arabian Gulf, you have your ports in the west, the Red Sea, all have to be transformed, and the terminals have to meet the growing demands of the international trade. Then we have the comprehensive maritime services. Once we are moving towards the reducing the carbon footprint, streamline global trade, because you are part of the global trade. Saudi Arab is not in isolation. It is very much part of the global trade. So your maritime contracts and the custom clearances have also to be, because a lot of things have to be transshipped also. You have to embark, there are number of ships which would be disembarking cargo on your eastern ports. They have to move around, transship to your ports at the Red Sea. From there, they have to move to Europe, Africa, anywhere around the world. So you need to have a system. Likewise, anything being disembarked on the Red Sea ports have to move around to your ports in the Arabian Sea. Likewise, things coming from UAE, from Qatar, from Bahrain, from Oman. So because you have such a large land mass that you can provide connectivity very easily. So you need to have an excellent trade network. For that, you have to simplify international trade and customs operation to fuel global partnerships, and likewise provide market access. And likewise, once you're doing that, regulatory excellence has to come in, because maybe you have got excellent ports, maybe you have got good, the crew is available also to man the hybrid, but if you have slowed down your regulatory or customs for your things take a lot of time, it is going to lose onto the cargo, and ships would eventually end up for much smarter places where your things move up very quickly. And likewise, you would lose onto those ships probably if your regulatory excellence is not in line with the global trade. So the core services which are required over here is, of course, the maritime contract management and of advanced clearance solutions. That has to be dovetailed and in step accordingly once you are improving. So your companies have to be smart. Smart companies have to collaborate with the Saudi companies to have excellent contract management with regards to maritime, and of course with advanced customs clearance solutions. Then you have vessel management, and then the bunkering issue would come. As I said before also, that your hybrid engines are going to come. So you need to have fuel other than fossil fuel, like LNG. There's a country providing LNG bunkering. You can look into provision of ammonia bunkering. You can look into provision of bunkering of hydrogen. So you have to start working onto those so that your bunkering facilities are available at a level where things are in line with the world requirement. The ships are able to bunker during your ports, either on your eastern side or on your western sides. You need fleet management facilitating the transition to eco-friendly vessels aligned with your vision. And likewise, fuel efficiency would automatically come into it. The core services where it's required, of course, fleet maintenance and management. Maintenance is a very tricky and a very sensitive thing. If along with your ports infrastructure, if you are working to maintain small or a large scale shipyards, which can provide the repair maintenance to your ships, this is going to give an added advantage, an added flavor to attraction for maritime traffic towards Saudi Arabia, because along with their bunkering, if they need any type of maintenance, long term or at a short term, the infrastructure is available, the trained manpower is available to provide them day-to-day maintenance or for a long-term maintenance. And likewise, of course, the bunkering solutions. Once we move to marine surveying and dispute resolution, the more traffic you have, you will have to have your emphasis on your marine surveying and dispute resolution also. So marine arbitration and mediation has to come in. You need to have a better setup where crew, staff, or companies can conduct arbitration and mediation accordingly. It is dovetailed with safety and regulatory compliance. All ships and the harbor would be in compliance to conduct the surveys as required by the international and local maritime laws. And once you go for dispute resolution, you need to have fast and reliable system to clear out any dispute which has arrived once the ship or once the platform is within the territorial waters of Saudi Arabia. So companies would require to upgrade themselves to have marine surveys with them, and of course also required for the dispute resolution with the maritime lawyers available just at the phone call. Then you have got logistic and supply chain. Eventually, as we grow in trade, your supply chain has to have a strong and fast solutions available so that they are able to provide immediate corresponding transportation, either in form of transshipment or within the country, to facilitate trade. It is in line with the 2030 vision to optimize supply chains to strengthen Saudi Arabia as a leading global trade hub. A lot of warehouses have to be built. Your road traffic transport, your air traffic transport, your port management has to improve. The more economic zones, if you have near to your ports, it will provide you good competitive solution and accordingly it will save time also. So once you have utilized your logistic technologies to improve, a lot of AI is coming now, and with the use of AI, I think the time and improve speed and then reduction in cost and of security in international shipping. Good freight forwarding companies to open up space for excellent companies to establish offices. It has to have comprehensive supply chain solutions. Sustainable development and pollution control, with a lot of traffic, maritime traffic coming in, you have to have a very strong check on your pollution, because many abide by IMO regulation, but at some times you have a lot of ships, small crafts also, which do not abide by. And then likewise, in case of any accident also, immediate response is required so that you're able to control any kind of marine pollution, which is going to eventually hit your ports or your coast, which will impact tourism also and will take a lot of measures and investment to clear your waters. So it is the responsibility. Your green practices are coming. Your ports have to be green. Your ships are coming with a lot of hybrid solution to have support the green shipping requirement of the International Maritime Organization. And that would, of course, minimize the ecological impact of maritime operations. Marine companies who are providing the sustainability or being the advisor to the different companies, have to provide you excellent and state-of-the-art solution, which will reduce any kind of an impact through your maritime operation and have a reduced pollution. There may be many offset measures also to be undertaken at different localities, areas around the ports also, which will reduce the impact of whatever emission of greenhouse gases is being undertaken by ships during their transit through the Red Sea, Arabian Sea, or at the port. So it has to have, your ports have to have a protective role in marine pollution, which would, of course, it has to be prevention and sustainable waste management also. This is another, it opens up another very big field for your waste management. Logically, a lot of waste is generated on board ships, and once those are catered for by your green ports, things would improve. The ships would start looking towards various ports of Saudi Arabia where they can come and dispose of their waste on scientific lines. Once companies provide core services to Saudi maritime field, of course, is your marine pollution control in tandem with the Saudi government. And then, of course, environmental sustainability consultancy has to be very strong, which provides you logical solutions which are in step with time. And then, of course, marine environmental monitoring is also very important. You need to have a very strong organ of monitoring, which continues to monitor the sea through your sea platforms, air platforms, and through your different gadgets which are placed at the ports to detect the emission of the greenhouse gases or any other emission which is not as per the green port regulations.